Give me that green checkbox that we all love to see. That we all love to see. Green. Oh wow, it is live right away. Wow, holy shit.
Thursday night from Boston. Was that
wow, that was absolutely savage. Now for the regular intro. Welcome everyone to another edition of the 4GwQPodcast. This is episode number 145 for August 17, 2017. I can't believe August is already half over. Which means summer is way more than half over. It's your birthday? Wow. Happy early birthday.
On podcast day.
On podcast day. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, my birthday's Monday on the eclipse.
No way. Is that true?
Yep.
Lucky.
Yep.
Happy birthday, dude. Don't look up the eclipse, all right?
I was hoping for a birthday present from the sky, but I'm not going to find it there.
No, definitely not.
It could rain.
That's not a present.
It could be.
Wow,
maybe if you need some rain.
This is a huge divergence right in the onset of the episode, but let me say that I did see those Amazon eclipse glasses that you wear over your regular glasses or just as glasses. It's like wraparound eyewear that you can look up at the eclipse, and they've since taken it off the market, so don't do that because that's a stupid idea. But anyway, welcome everyone. We have probably a quick show tonight. We have four guys, sort of, four topics. And a lot of them are about Xbox tonight, as you probably expect, since the news of the week is Xbox related, and it's not looking too good for some of our preferred platforms. But let me introduce the panel. I am, of course, in front of 217, making his 145th straight appearance at CPCI Assassin. What's going on, bud?
Yo.
Now, if you were to extrapolate the hours of each one of our podcasts and you multiply it by 145, that is some serious time podcasting. So bravo to CPCI Assassin for making all these episodes.
Yeah.
He's like clapping to himself. He's clapping. He's like, you can hear faintly in the background.
Hey.
Guinness Book of World Records for most time on a podcast, Assassin?
I doubt that.
Oh, I should fill out the form for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. We've got back after a brief hiatus. We've got Taylor, aka Zebra Fries. What's going on?
Hey.
And last but not least, whose birthday is on the eclipse day, as he just said, Italian Clowns. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, people of the internet? We're here to talk about games, so let's get it going.
That's right. We'll get it going in just 1 second, but before we do want to thank our affiliates, and we did post a little deal that we had available for using our affiliate links, right, Clowns? What was that deal we posted earlier?
For Sims 4 Deluxe Party Edition, which Assassin's been hyping up in party chat for me. So yeah, $47.99 if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber and you buy it through our link. So do that; it helps us out, and we can do a giveaway and give you guys stuff.
Yeah, I mean, these affiliates, you do nothing different. You click on our links, you shop the way you want to shop. You don't necessarily have to buy what pops up. Sometimes they'll suggest an item, sometimes it'll be a certain item, whatever. Just click those links, do your shopping. We get a little bit of a referral bonus, and that money will be turned right around back onto you guys. So it's oh, go ahead, Klaus.
And guys, I just want to say, thank you for all the 28 clicks on that. And if you actually did buy something on that, it definitely will help us out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what I do, I have a few people that I've seen online that I support, and it's very specific niche sites, not these ones, obviously. But you just bookmark it like that, so that when you go to that site, it's right there, and you don't have to worry about forgetting about the affiliate link, and you can help some people out. And yeah, so do the same for us if you want. Bookmark it. That's a good suggestion, and I know a lot of people who do that, so do it up. It really is no pain whatsoever. I mean, you don't need to buy anything extra or spend any extra money. There isn't like this 4GwQPodcast tax that's added on or anything like that. So, all right. So we've got four topics. Let's start with the obvious one, which kind of will get into the second topic. The obvious topic is the delay of Crackdown 3, which is one of, single-digit exclusives coming to Xbox. You can count the amount of Xbox One exclusives for 2017 now on certainly on one hand for AAA titles. So losing one, especially one of this caliber that was supposed to be a launch title, if you will, for the Xbox One X to showcase its power beyond graphics. Also, the sandbox multiplayer, that kind of thing, really, really show the power of the Xbox One X. And now it is delayed until spring 2018. So not January, not February, but spring. So it could be April. It's really indefinite. And it's in my opinion, it's a big blow. But I want to hear what you guys have to say, because apparently the rumor was that the delay was totally multiplayer based. Multiplayer was not 100% ready, and they wanted to put it out with the full experience. They didn't want to put out a single player that was, only a few hours and then be like, well, this is the beta for the multiplayer, enjoy, and charge $60 for it. That wouldn't have been a good look either. But let me go to you, Assassin, first, bud. What do you, I know you're going to be a smart ass in a second, but I welcome it because I know you're seeing a lot of it anyway. So go ahead and tell us what you think about this.
Okay, so it's the best fucking news I've heard all week. Crackdown 3, like any other Microsoft game, except Forza Halo, should not come out in fall. Especially this fall with Call of Duty World War II, Destiny 2, Battlefront 2, Sims 4 for console, and all these other games. The game would get absolutely destroyed in sales. There'll be a few people here and there. Xbox fanboys are going to buy it. Crackdown fans will buy it, but not just some Joe Schmo from Kokomo,
Oh, very good reference.
Is going to buy it. So a spring or even a summer release is the best time to release this game, because there's technically no games during the summer. Sometimes there is. I know Red Dead's coming out in spring, but it's the best time to get the sales. Now, as for I've seen all the bullshit on Twitter saying, oh, now I'm going to cancel my Xbox One X pre-order. Well, you weren't going to fucking buy the game in the first place. You're probably one of those kids that'd be like, oh my god, it sucks. And it probably does suck. Don't get me wrong, but you weren't getting the X for that game.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of like the Scalebound thing, right? Like this happened with Scalebound. It was canceled. Now Crackdown is not going to get canceled. So don't say, oh, Inferno says Crackdown's getting canceled, because it's not getting canceled. But
you heard it here first, folks.
when Scalebound got canceled and everyone was up in arms, I bet you 10% of those people were going to buy the game. Now, Crackdown 3, it is an established franchise. And I do agree, it's not even, in my opinion, in the opinion of a lot of people on the Xbox community on Twitter that I've seen, it's not even a first-party game. It is, but it's murky. It's not absolutely this first-party title. A lot of people equivalent it to a second party almost. So people know that Crackdown isn't the showstopper. I know a lot of people would say that Forza 7 is probably more of a showstopper than Crackdown 3. Granted, Crackdown 3 has its appeal, and in my opinion looked better than I expected when I checked that out at E3. But Assassin's right. You're not canceling your Xbox One pre-order because Crackdown 3, or pre-order is not ready yet, rumored to be on August 20th. But no one's now. I don't think anyone is really going to be like, oh, Crackdown 3 is delayed. Forget it. Forget the Xbox One X.
I don't know. There's some people on Twitter that is being a dumbass. Be like, oh, canceled.
I don't agree with that though. Let's
know,
see what happens on November 7th, dude. Let's see what happens if those people actually put up, And Xbot448's in the chat, and he says 4GwQPodcast is damage controlling. That's anyone who spins this at all in any positive manner is damage controlling, according to everyone. You know what I mean? This is not positive at all. This is a huge blow. Don't get me wrong. But you're not canceling your Xbox One pre-order because Crackdown's not coming out until spring. I'm sorry, you're not.
Well, then you see it on Twitter, with Red Dead being delayed, and everyone's like, good, the game's going to be polished and everything. And it's like Crackdown 3. Trump just started World War 3.
Well, let's not bring Trump into this one, because it's a little too real right now.
It is very real. It is very real.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but
All right, so Taylor, you don't want to bring Trump into it, but you have feelings, I guess, about this. So please tell us what you think about this whole news.
Honestly, I'm not surprised because it seems like almost every Microsoft title now is just coming out with, or anytime it has a release date, it gets delayed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a recent thing, but I'm not. It's just a trend I've noticed, and so I wasn't really surprised when it got delayed.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to steal other people's thoughts on this necessarily, but I mean, I've got to just say it because I know a lot of people are thinking it. Where the hell was the multiplayer on this game? It hasn't been shown forever. They showed a little bit of a tech demo of the demolition in the multiplayer a couple of years ago, and now it's hasn't come up in a couple of years. No one knows where it is. It's MIA. So the writing was on the wall. This game was scheduled to come out in what, 3 months? Less than 3 months, and you're not seeing anything about a portion of the game that is arguably the most attractive portion. So you know what, Taylor, you're right. You're 100% right. If you weren't, at least thinking this in the back of your head that this was going to probably happen, then you either don't have a pulse on gaming or the industry, or you were just, a huge fanboy with wishful thinking and thought that this was going to sell like 20 million units. Because, I mean, no, it's just. I think that's why I put in this little slide, like, is this a huge deal? Is it overblown? Yeah, it's a big deal. But, like, when you think about expecting it, like you said, Taylor, when you think about how you were expecting this to probably happen, like, it's not as big of a deal because it was already in the back of your head. So stop making it like be like Mother Teresa died, all right? Everything is going to be all right in Xbox land, but, I mean, it's looking grim. Clowns, I hear you trying to get in on this, so please do.
I've been on Twitter all morning about this, and it doesn't, to be honest, I was never a Crackdown fan anyway, and you guys heard it on this show, you guys heard it on other podcasts that I've been on, that I did not think Crackdown 3 was going to be a phenomenal game. I thought, it's cool for the niche crowd, for those that like it. It's always cool for gamers that like stuff, but it wasn't going to be a huge deal. And this is not that big of a deal just because it's a first-party game. There's so many other things that you could play on Xbox One, Xbox One S, or Xbox One X when it comes out, like Anthem, PUBG, Conan Exiles, Destiny 2. I mean, just so many different games, like Star Wars Battlefront 2. So why worry about Crackdown 3 just because it's a Microsoft first-party studio? I mean, do people get crazy when Nintendo delays a game? Do you see kids go in the streets and riot and throw their Switches and break their 3DS? No! They just wait for it to come out and buy it then, like good little citizens. And this is not that big of a deal. And, another way to look at this, would you cancel a graphics card pre-order just because a PC game got canceled or delayed when there's so many others to play in that existing library? No, you wouldn't. It doesn't make sense.
Especially because your backlog of games that already exist, and shout out to J Street to already making this point in the YouTube chat, but I want to throw it out there because it goes to what you just said, Clowns. Your backlog of games that you currently have, most likely getting X patches, most likely going to be improved in some way, shape, or form. We've already heard that there are many developers, many publishers on board for X patches, for X updates, some to native 4K. Huge Xbox specific games, Halo 5, Forza Horizon 3 getting huge updates to go native 4K. That's a big deal. So if you're going to cancel your X pre-order because Crackdown 3 was delayed until spring of 2018, where Assassin's right, it'll probably do better, and it's going to be the full game, then you know what? Honestly, shame on you.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I mean, and grow up too. I mean, there's so many great games to enjoy on Xbox One X. If you're a fan of Xbox or you want power in the Xbox One X, don't delay your pre-order just because of Crackdown 3. It makes absolutely zero sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's so many great games coming out this fall. So many awesome games that I played at E3 that were running on Xbox One X, SDK development hardware, that looked amazing. Amazing on One X hardware. And there were third-party titles. The Crew, Assassin's Creed Origins, like, you know, there were a lot of good Crew 2 rather. There were a lot of good games, and then there, you know, I saw amazing things that games I already have. I'm gonna replay, and me and Assassin were talking about this in party chat the other day. I'm gonna replay the Gears of War 4 campaign, just for what I saw at E3 in that closed door thing. That they had us do on the Monday night event. I was blown away by that. So there's plenty to play. You know, call it damage controlling all you want. We have, you know, I have every system. Clowns has all the systems. You know, Assassin once did and wishes he still has his PlayStation, but we won't bring that up again. Taylor's a PC gamer as well as Xbox gamer and 3DS and Nintendo fangirl. And so we're, you know, this is real talk. This isn't, you know, Xbox deflecting or anything, because in the next segment I'm about to slam Xbox for a reason. So, but any other words on this? Like, I don't. To me, it's overblown. Do you guys agree that it's overblown?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, obviously 2017 will be, you know, will go down, and tell me if you guys agree with this, will go down as one of the worst years in Xbox history, even with the release of the most powerful hardware. It will, because they don't have the exclusives when Sony has them, and Sony put them out, and they're incredible. And the Switch came out and is getting incredible fanfare and has incredible games as well. So it will go down for games as one of the worst years, if not the worst year in Xbox gaming history. But I don't think Xbox is going to be sunk because Crackdown is getting delayed. Get real.
No, and I think the Xbox One X is going to do good. And there's just, you know, again, guys, there's just so many other titles to enjoy on your Xbox One X when you get it. You can look forward to PUBG, which is going to be exclusive. Even if it's time-limited exclusive, it will be on Xbox One X first. So, I mean, there's good stuff like that that's going to be there as a reason to get the Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm. And Mooch is going to transition us right into our next topic, because Mooch in the YouTube chat says, overblown the delay Inferno, but what needs to be discussed is the Xbox staff needs to shape up or get shaken up a bit. Too many first-party issues. So next topic kind of talks about that. Xbox One X is kind of, in my opinion, a no-show at retailers. A big-time no-show. No video ads, no showing the differences in hardware, no 4K screen setup saying, look at how amazing this is going to look and how it's going to run. You know, no, coming soon, pre-order soon, no hype generation whatsoever. And, you know, the Xbox staff isn't helping that at all. Greenberg, you know, shout out to him. He does a great job. He's been on vacation, but even on vacation, he tweets out once in a while about Xbox One X, how amazing it is. I mean, heck, Tim Dog is a better promoter of Xbox One X than a lot of the Xbox people. Like, it's
well, it's something I got to say here that bothers me a little bit. It seems like Xbox and Microsoft took the focus off Xbox advertising and retailers and put advertising into Mixer all of a sudden. It's like they're just, hey, Xbox, see you on the sideline. Let's talk about Mixer today. No, they still need to talk about Xbox. They need to push the stuff out there. And I agree. I mean, like, we need to see ads everywhere for this, like we used to with the 360.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when the 360 came out, you go to your retailer and there would be a kiosk with a 360 and you'd be like, I need to get in line for that shit because that's coming soon and that looks amazing. That Call of Duty 2 at GameStop made my jaw drop, dude. Jaw drop.
Shout out to Crossfire real quick, because when I was on Crossfire last week, it was either somebody in chat or somebody on the show. I can't remember if it's Boom or Crap, but somebody said that you walk into like a Walmart or you walk into another retailer and it's like the OG Xbox One on display and not like the newer stuff. And that's Xbox marketing and their third-party affiliates that they hire to market at retailers. They need to get on that. You need to get that fixed because Sony's out there pushing their stuff. You know, it's competition. I hate to say it is capitalism. It's all about competition, and they need to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I can't believe how little has been shown. And granted, you know, rumors are, and shout out to Randall Thorne 19 who's in the chat, and one of my good buds, he put out a video today talking about how, today or yesterday, one of the two, about how August 20th, it seems like it's going to be the date that we're going to get some more information about pre-orders, if not having pre-orders open that day for the console. So that does give you, 2.5 months of time to pre-order the Xbox One X. But at the same time, we've known about this friggin' thing for like 2.5 years. Oh, sorry, 1.5 years. 1.5 years we've known about this thing. And why do we have to know about this thing for 1.5 years and still not have, like, demo units in stores, ads on the walls, something, especially at GameStop. Best Buy, all right, fine. GameStop, like, you got to have something in there letting people know when they walk in that door that, the beast is coming, and it's time to look forward to that, because Sony's done it. Sony's done it with the Pro. They did it with the PlayStation 4. They've done it. So, and Nintendo did it with the Switch. So, Till, I see your comment in the chat. I want you to say that on the show. Talk to me.
I'm just confused because I see every other Microsoft product being advertised, but not what they claim is going to be the biggest game changer in gaming. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it makes absolutely no sense right now, because you see Mixer, you see stuff about their controllers more than you see about their actual console. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm baffled by it. It doesn't make any sense.
It upsets me. Because, as we all know here, I'm primarily an Xbox gamer, and I want to see them get the maximum out of this console release. And am I under a delusion that they're gonna, like, suddenly within a year overtake Sony and dominate the market? No, but I think that what they have, from what I've seen gameplay and what I've seen hardware wise, and how small it is, and how the ecosystem is just, you can just tell the ecosystem's the same, and it's joining everyone together. I think the whole message and the product as a whole is just so incredible that, like, I just can't believe they're pushing controllers more than they're pushing the Xbox One X. It's such a great point, Taylor, because it's like everyone has controllers already. Like, people aren't, lining up for controllers. People don't, play, a game at 4K with their 4K controller. They play with their same damn controller. So, like, let's start advertising this Xbox One the way it should be advertised and get the hype train going, because, we've known about it for so long. It's time to finally, it's been time, And
you know what, though? I mean, we know about it because we are talking about the industry, and we're on Twitter with the hardcore fans on both sides, and we read all the magazine articles online, and we hear from the Xbox pressers. But there are casuals out there, a majority of casuals, that just randomly walk around that may not even have a clue that this thing is coming out.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Like, if you're not in tune with E3, J Street makes a good point. Like, soon they're going to know, clowns, because Taco Bell, they finally got that Taco Bell agreement that Sony's had for so long. And now Taco Bell is going to be pushing the Xbox One X. But except for that, like, how do the common people know about this thing? They don't.
Nope.
And just really quick, because it kind of gets to this point, I know Stickfig said earlier in chat, do we think that it's because the Xbox One S, they don't want to hurt sales of the One S, which is already hurting? I mean, if the thing's already hurting, then who cares? Like, you want to get people hyped up for Xbox brand again? They're obviously not if One S sales are hurting. So get people hyped up for something new. Like, give the people a perception that it's new, but it plays your old games, or it'll play these old games better, or, I know $500 is a big ticket item, premium price, as Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, would say. But at the same time, if people don't necessarily have to buy new games in order to see it work really well, then people will be convinced, I think. So, any more thoughts on this, Assassin? You got anything?
Yes, I would love to take their advertising job for, like, at least a week. They should put ads in the Best Buy, Walmart, GameStop, all those retailer stores, saying Xbox One X, blah, blah, blah. You can pre-orders coming soon, you pre-order now. They need to put posters up in these places where they have kiosks, saying the stuff. They need videos on their, TV screens. They need demo units. They need like a bunch of stuff, and advertisements on TV, not one, like maybe one a day. Because that's sometimes I see it. You need like, a few in like the football. When they're doing some football stuff, or big TV series. Place that right there. Have like an ad thing that they put on the stadium around like the footballs, whatever. And same thing with baseball. They need to put that stuff there. Emails. Well, sometimes they do emails, but some emails. Get that stuff out of there. Same thing with their games. Like, didn't they advertise ReCore like a week before it came out? Like,
yeah, and people didn't even know what ReCore is, or
Yep.
was rather. People didn't even know what that game was, and people are. Up until E3, they were suffering from the same problem with Sea of Thieves. Now, people know a little bit more of what that's going to be about. But if you weren't in, the playtests, you didn't know what Sea of Thieves was. You didn't know what ReCore was until, like you said, a couple weeks before. So that you can't generate hype on a game that people don't know what it is. So, like, and that's the thing, like with the 1X, I hate to keep beating the same point down, but, like, we've known about this thing for a year and a half, and we haven't just they didn't just say, oh, something's coming, wait until next year, we've got something. They said the specs, they said what it's going to play, they said they would start the native 4K narrative, They said the 6 teraflops. They said, this, that, and the other thing. That it was all out for you. The name wasn't out there, but people liked Project Scorpio, and they could have used that to advertise, even though that wasn't going to be the name, because people knew that and liked that. So, yeah, it's really questioning. It's really questionable, I should say.
The one thing I also like to bring up, remember, I think when Xbox One was coming out, back in 2013, I know PlayStation is still doing this, but they had trucks that had the system in it, and they would go to, like, PlayStation just went to Summerfest, which is a huge music festival here. Like, a bunch of people, like, huge artists and stuff come, and people all around come and whatever, and they let, people play their system. Like, they needed to bring that back. Come to like Milwaukee, Boston, some other big, cities throughout the U.S., maybe even in Europe or something. I don't know. Let people try it out.
Yeah, whatever happened to those demo units in stores? I feel like those things aren't a big, like, they're just not pushing it the same way they used to, so they're not a big deal. I feel like the 360 one, come on, man. That one was legit. And even like the Wii and the Wii U, like even as recently as those, like those ones were nice demo units and got you in the door. But now you walk into a GameStop, you're not really compelled to play the demo units. Like Xbox could capitalize on that, come out with a really flashy, engaging demo unit for people to check out and get people interested in the console through that medium, because no one's doing that really. Like there is a PlayStation 4 one, there is an Xbox One demo unit, like Clowns was alluding to in Walmart's it being super old. Why doesn't Microsoft like completely revamp that? And people will say, "Oh, okay, it's a little too early." I don't think it's too early. Like,
nope,
it's not too early. So they need to get their shit together, for lack of a better term, because like Stick Figure kind of alluded to in the chat, even Xbox One S sales are down when they're giving away like 4 games. So. They need to push the narrative that they're the best thing coming, and that all your old games will work, and that the newer games coming out are going to have the best versions on Xbox One X. People need to see that, because again, like Clown said earlier, people, unless you're in the know, you probably don't know that.
So. I think the biggest issue and it's not Crackdown 3 that they're going to cause hardcore fans to cancel any pre-orders. I think the biggest issue for Microsoft, the biggest hurdle, is it looks like a lack of confidence with no hardcore advertisement out there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
They need to get some third parties back, the marketing. Even if they don't get, early beta. Oh, early beta is fine, but like, early content, like 30 days of COD DLC or, other stuff. At least, then they can actually show off these games, compare the S to the X, and have posters all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like free marketing with Call of Duty.
Right, right. Some big third-party stuff, and you know, Assassin's Creed Origins, you know, that's big, but does it have universal appeal that Call of Duty or shooters do? Probably not. You know, Middle-earth Shadow of War. You know, if you paid attention to our last episode 144, we talked about how microtransactions have turned a lot of people off to that game. You know, if that's something that it's done to you, then, you know, maybe Microsoft having that marketing deal was not as smart as they first anticipated, even though the game looks amazing. You know, it's gotten a lot of negative attention lately. Whereas Destiny 2 has gotten nothing but extremely positive attention, and guess who has that deal? PlayStation. So everyone laughed at that before, but it's looking great.
Another problem I think that the industry is facing is that a lot of marketers in the industry are trying to put too much focus on forcing products into big YouTube streamers to get the products out there. So, yeah, that works, but so does mainstream marketing, like billboard signs and, you know, previews before the movie comes on, or your products in the movies. That's, you know, that is better than having YouTube stars constantly push your products. If you're just going to focus on YouTube stars when there's multi-products that they're pushing, you're losing focus on your own brand.
Yeah, look at Rocket League. We talked about this in our weird gaming, weird news of the week segment about how Rocket League had a sponsorship with WWE. Like, you thought that didn't work out, but how many people are at WWE stadiums that, you know, when they take a break in the action in the wrestling, they'll go out and play the game? Why can't Microsoft do something like that? Like, you know, it would seem weird on the surface, but, you know, a lot of people attend WWE events. A lot of people love them some wrestling. Why not put an Xbox One X in the stadium on a mobile kiosk with, you know, WWE 2K18 in native 4K? You know, they got to start thinking outside the box and get it in front of as many people, and more importantly, as many people that aren't familiar. Because that's what the Rocket League and WWE deal does, because people who go to WWE events probably have no idea what Rocket League is a lot of the time, so... Go ahead,
I mean, even putting a shirt on a WWE superstar or a UFC fighter that says there's no power greater than X, or, you know, something on the gloves, the boxing gloves and boxing, anything like that to endorse your product will get other people out there aware of your stuff. I mean, hell, I hate to say it, but even NASCAR could help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, true. I agree. I mean, any segment that, you know, seems like it's possible to get the maximum exposure to the maximum amount of people, even if they're not, you know, primarily gamers, they need to approach those, because they may be able to get those on the cheap. You know, like NASCAR, that's a huge, you know, industry. But, you know, getting a game deal at NASCAR events, you know, that's probably cheap. I wouldn't expect that to be as expensive as getting like Xbox One X's outside of like the COD championships, because that's already a gaming event. So, oh, we lost Assassin's video. Oh, it's back. Okay.
Yeah, there was a hiccup. Everything was just froze.
Oh, okay. All right. Any more thoughts from anyone about this before we slide along?
Nope.
Albert Pinello just tweeted today, Xbox One X pre-orders are coming. Watch our Gamescom broadcast on Sunday for details. So that's where Rand got that news about the 20th maybe being the day. But at the same time, you got Xbox people tweeting about Xbox One X pre-orders coming. Like, come on. Like, that's the best they've got, which is so sad. That's so sad.
And the media predicted that Gamescom would be the actual release date anyway.
Oh, right. No, I know that. Yeah. I mean, it's for some reason, I don't know why that is the perfect event to do that. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think the longer you have pre-orders, the more likely you are to get them, I think, in my opinion. So they should have just done it right after E3.
Yeah, and pulling a Nintendo stunt would not help the Xbox One X at this point.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Anyway, some more Xbox news, and this may be positive or negative depending on your look at it. For me, I think it's probably positive, but I'm not a huge, I'm not huge in the achievement hunter scene, if you will. We know a lot of people that are. but I want to hear what you guys all think about this. Mike Ybarra was talking to the Xbox 2 podcast. Our buddies Jez and Randolph019 run that show, and they did a little impromptu interview and talked to Mike Ybarra, corporate vice president of Xbox, about what changes may be coming to the Xbox ecosystem platform. And one of the things they talked about, which no one expected, was achievements. So apparently there's going to be a fundamental change to achievements. So let me just read this quote, and this is kind of a takeaway. It's not exactly, it's from the article that Jez wrote on Windows Central, but it's not what Mike Ybarra exactly said. But essentially, he was talking about how the Xbox team is working on something that fundamentally changes the concept of Xbox achievements, with the aim of highlighting gamers' histories and accomplishments to complement but not replace the gamer score system. So if you didn't see this, what he was kind of giving as an example was potentially someone who plays Halo 5 religiously, who could get a maximum of, I think Halo 5 has 1,500 gamer score at this point, or maybe it's only 1,000. I don't even know. But if you play a game religiously and you only have 1,000 gamer score, you look like you're nothing as a gamer, right? I mean, if people see 1,000 gamer score versus somebody with 100,000, you're gonna look like a pleb as a gamer. Like you're not a gamer. But someone could be ranked number 1 in Halo 5 in the world, and you would never know because they would only have 1,000 gamer score.
Two thoughts on this. One, was he really that happy when he said this from that picture? Was he smiling like that on the podcast? I'm curious.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think anyone at Xbox is really smiling like this recently.
But I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest with you. I feel like we're putting too much emphasis, once again, on gamer score. I like gamer score, don't get me wrong. But do we really need to put that much emphasis and say, you're a gamer judged by your gamer score?
Well, that's the thing. That's the whole point of this, is that they're trying to get that away from gamers' minds. They're trying to say, oh, there's going to be something else that's displayed that makes people see that you're a real gamer other than gamer score, Because, you go to somebody's profile, you see them, and then, the first line is their gamer score. You know what I mean? You see something, you're like, oh, 150,000 gamer score. Like you just said,
well,
that's a little much, but...
But I think that's because Xbox put the emphasis there during the 360 days.
No, they did. 100%.
Yeah, and I think it's just another way to keep you addicted to playing games. I mean, is it wrong or is it right? I don't know. I'm not a moral judgment. But I don't know. You could just turn on a game then, let's say Skyrim, like they used to do in the old days, and take a rubber band and put it on your joystick and just... all day long go in circles, and you're just in game earning achievements for time in the game, and you're not even home.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, they would have to. That's why I think this is not something that's easily implemented. This is going to have to be something very thought out. Maybe it's only for certain games, maybe not. Maybe Skyrim doesn't qualify, but competitive games that have a competitive scene do qualify. I don't know. I don't know exactly how they're going to do this. I mean, I don't think they exactly know 100% how they're going to do this either, but... And I hate to say it, too, on top of that, if they start allowing, programmable controllers and mice and keyboard and all that, you could just program macros and just running games all day long and not be home. And then what are they going to do then? Are they going to count you as cheating for achievements and then ban your account if you're just trying to maybe chop some wood in a game or something? Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to have to look into that because, I mean, maybe there is going to be some deeper level integration where they know exactly what you've done, which is scary, but, maybe, it will show in the gaming history that you've played this many hours and you've gotten through this much percentage of the game, and that's all wrapped into one, icon of some sort. I don't know, because if you do the rubber band thing, it's going to show that you played 7,000 hours and you've done jack shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Yeah. When you just leveled up in Skyrim to level 5,001 and wood chopping.
Yeah. That's it's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if one of the icons that gets displayed beside your name other than gamerscore is an axe for wood chopping on Skyrim?
Yeah. No, I mean,
7,000 hours.
I'm gonna go
like,
get 5,001 hours in wood chopping now.
It's like an axe, right? And in the axe, like in the actual blade, they have like a 5, and it's like that means 5,000 hours of wood chopping. And the number just like goes up depending on how many thousand of hours. Yeah.
yep.
I'm
mean,
just
you
gonna
could
leave
just-
my Xbox running and have that. I'm gonna figure out a cheat to get that, so my character just automatically does that.
Hey, you know, if they add motion controls eventually in Xbox One X, you could, like Pokemon Go, take your controller, tape it to the fan, and keep it spinning all day long.
Yep.
Assassin's like, yup, as if like this is one of his grand schemes that he's gonna be doing. He's like, yup, that's gonna be me.
No, I'm not
He's like, "Let me get
happy
my-"
with
Okay.
the idea of people earning achievements for just playing. Yeah, I mean, like, just ones where you play like 500 hours or whatever. Like, I personally find it like embarrassing sometimes with games. Like, I put like almost 35 days in Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 1. Like, I find that a little embarrassing. But
Well,
you know,
one man's
or, like-
embarrassment is one man's pride. You know what I mean? One man would
Yeah, but,
would,
like-
would want a trophy for that, and one man would want to be like, you know, abolished from society. It depends.
Yeah, but I just don't understand the mentality of some people who are like, oh my god, I got like a 10G achievement for spending 600 days in Destiny. Yay. Like, I don't see that, but
Can you imagine what Sims 1 would be?
I don't know.
That'd be
But-
so.
They should also take a page from PlayStation and have platinum achievements and have their DLC in a separate category and not tied to the actual base game, kind of like what PlayStation does.
Really?
Yeah.
You like that? I'm not sure if I like that. It's like segmented. I'm
Well,
not-
because when you play a game and let's just say Call of Duty, okay, they have 4 DLCs, well, 5 with Black Ops 3. You complete some, and then the achievements are like all messed up, so you don't know, like, you know, Zombie Chronicles, you don't know which ones are that, and then with the first DLC, like, you could think that maybe do something in whatever map is actually first DLC or something. I don't know.
I hear you. That's good. Good point.
Or maybe
Like,
they want to add it to apps like Netflix, so like you get like I don't know, like a golden achievement, and it comes with a little bit of score, and you can go to work next day and tell all your friends, "Hey, you know, I got the achievement in Netflix. I left it running all day long, and I just had the controller tap a button on a macro after so many hours, so it just kept going."
Hey, you know what? If people go to that kind of effort just to get these achievements, they fucking deserve it. I'm sorry. Like that's just too much work. Can you imagine like people like set up like robotic arms just to press A every once in a while? Like you just have like this spinning arm just coming by and hitting the exact spot, and then like it's programmed to just come by like every hour and hit that. Come on.
Hey, you know, I've seen some pretty creative stuff with Skyrim, people on YouTube, with stuff like that, okay? Like mousetrap setups just to hit the buttons on the controller. So, yes,
go.
people will get desperate and do stuff like that.
Hey, good for them. You know they deserve it. Then they deserve it. Taylor, thoughts on this?
I mean, I don't understand like why they want to change it so bad. Like, it doesn't make sense to me because I think it works fine right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if they want to change it, go ahead, man.
I think
like-
it's people complaining because like they're ranked like top 10 in Halo, for instance, and there's no way for people to know that on the surface. Like if you go
So
to
you
somebody's
take a
profile-
screenshot and add it to your profile.
Well, you know, Assassin 9 discovered the biggest problem with that method
Yeah.
of people that just play multiplayers and don't get achievements. It's called they create like 18 Smurf accounts, and they keep going on new Smurf accounts because they don't want to lose rank in their main account. So they play in Smurf accounts, and they have low achievement scores.
Wow, this is way too convoluted for the discussion I thought we were going to be having about this. Like, now we're talking about Smurf accounts, we're talking about robotic arms and mouse traps. They'll be
And
pressing buttons.
Ybarra is smiling at that quote.
No, I just
can't
took this image, bro.
I
Like,
can't get over that.
It's a good image, right? It's a good
It
picture.
is good image. He looks very happy about it.
He was smirking like this at the Xbox One X reveal.
Was he?
at E3 this year. Now, I guess not the reveal, but the second reveal, if you will. He was smirking like this, and rightfully so. But 75% of the population probably wouldn't even know what Xbox One X is. So, so Assassin, you're totally against this, or?
Yeah, I feel like they're participation trophies, well, achievements. You feeling left out here, have an achievement because you did a good job, buddy.
Yeah, but it's not just about that. It's about high rank. Like, when you got, one of the highest ranks in PvZ Garden Warfare, like you were just talking about your, over a month played, which, is embarrassing to some. You talk about this and you were one of the highest ranks. You don't want something displayed that people can just know that about you without, what I mean? Isn't that an achievement in and of itself?
I would have took a screenshot and added to that social thing that, have that you can pin stuff to your feed or whatever and showcase.
Does that still exist or no?
Yes, that still exists.
Really? Wow.
And they've done nothing with it.
Wow. I would have never known that, to be honest. I thought that was gone.
I got a solution for our viewers and people that see this later on YouTube.
Oh, here we go.
In 6 months from now, if there's a way to exploit this, come talk to Clowns. I'll make some videos like I did with Pokemon Go and how to get on banned and rebanned and just keep doing different things. So just talk to me in 6 months from now.
All right. Well, there's a message for our viewers. I think this is going to happen. I think it's definitely going to happen because I think people in the competitive scene are just like, listen, I'm not a pleb. Like, I play one game religiously and I am this rank and I, deserve recognition for being extremely high rank, even though I only have under 10,000 gamer score,
You could go to the Game Hub, but achievements. And they have
but that's too much
trackers.
work. That's too much work.
It's a lot of work to go to someone's profile.
No, it isn't.
And
People do that every day, dude. Just because you don't do it doesn't mean it's not done. You know what I mean?
They're weird. Just weird.
You just I understand your point about the participation trophies is definitely a good one. I agree with you 100% on that, but I think it's beyond that. That's why I don't agree with you on this take. But I think it's a valid concern because if you just get some sort of icon for wood chopping, then I'm against this. But if it's about a game that is a very competitive, like Smite, for example, Taylor, like what if you were like top 100 in Smite on Xbox One and you got some sort of recognition for that beyond gamer score? Like, isn't that a cool thing? Or
yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't mind the addition of stuff. I just don't see why now all of a sudden they seem to focus on this, going back again to the marketing thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true.
Just...
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
I don't see a point to focus on this stuff.
Right. Yeah, it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, why are you trying to mess with stuff that's already working well when you have stuff that's clearly not working well, like the release of your games?
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
Interesting. All right, Clowns, get any more on this? One last thing. I know you've been going hard on this, so I'm not sure if you're all taked out, if you will.
I mean, now I'm excited for it to see what I can do with it and how many videos I can make on this before they change it. And I wonder, would he get upset if I made that my profile pic on Xbox? Because he's just super happy.
Do it.
And I never smile that much in pictures, and Assassin never smiles in pictures. So, I mean, this would be a cool picture for people who don't smile.
I mean, I don't know if that would be deemed as against. Oh, why would it, right?
Inferno used me as his profile picture.
And you didn't smile, right?
No, he was definitely not smiling. I need to go back to that. I need to go back to that pic.
That's my Twitter picture, isn't it?
Is it still?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and take that and change it again. Okay. I got a lot of compliments on that, Assassin. I got a lot of people asking me about that.
See?
So.
Good stuff.
All right, moving on. Last topic of the evening. I know, kind of a short podcast, but this is a little bit of a surprise topic because I kind of added this in really late. But I know everyone knows what this is and knows what's going on with it and has a take on this. So I feel like I could just throw this in as a surprise thing for my fellow 4Guys panel members. So We Happy Few has finally got a release date, and this game has been in game preview for over a year at this point, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's finally coming out on April 13th, 2018. And so by that point, it will have been in game preview for like a year and a half. And if you want it, I would suggest that you buy it now because it is $30, and it's going to be up to $60 by the time it does come out. Now, it is in game preview still on Xbox One, on PC, and on Steam in both. I think it's on Mac as well. I think it's PC and Mac, but don't quote me on that. It's definitely PC on Steam and on GOG's version of the early access thing. So you can get it on both those PC platforms, GOG and Steam. But interestingly, Compulsion is going to release the PS4 version on the same exact day as the Xbox One version and the PC version. So, now, should this bug people that have been testing this game out and essentially shaping this game? Because, granted, for people in the chat, I've seen people saying, I need to try this again. This game has completely changed. This game's completely changed. So, they released an update a little while back. I can't remember the name of it, but I think I have it written down somewhere. I haven't played this game in forever. I need to go back to it. But let me see what the name of it is. Blah, blah, blah. You'll know if you've played it. But there have been two, it's like Clockwork or something, Clockwork update or something. That was a little while ago. That changed the game significantly. And then there's a more recent update that's happened that has kind of changed the tone from, a sandbox roguelike, almost like procedurally generated game that has no real like serious story to a game that is a single player, real campaign, story driven with specific characters and where was I going with this? And in like an actual linear narrative. It's not like this like sandbox you jump into and you can do whatever you want. Like interactions between characters are significantly increased. It's not like you're just doing random things because you're in a sandbox. You're doing things that matter to the gameplay, to the story, and they've increased their developer counts from like 10 to 40. So there's like 40 people on this game now, and they have gotten a huge investment from third-party investors, and they've taken the Kickstarter money that they got and the early access money, and they've just really doubled down, or quadrupled down, I should say, on making this a really good game. So that said, people have put a lot of hard-earned money hours that they haven't been paid for into making this game what it is. And now people, Jay Street in the YouTube chat says, thought it was exclusive for Xbox. He was surprised. So a lot of people thought that, and now PlayStation is just going to like reap the benefits of the Xbox and PC people that have been testing this for months or a year. What do you guys think about that?
Well, it's time to cancel our Xbox One pre-orders, Xbox One X pre-orders. Xbox is done. They can't do anything right. No, but in all fairness, good for them for being a success story in all of this. And when you play a game like this, at least in the beginning, you created those memories, and then you saw the game evolve and change with your feedback. And to see a game ends in the way it is, and if it's really good, then that makes you really happy that you put the $30 into the game to help make it what it is. Mm-hmm. And PlayStation people won't experience that.
That's true. I think there is a value to that you've shaped the game, and Compulsion has not hidden the fact that it is because of the gamers that this game has changed so much. Because if it were up to them, if this didn't go into game preview, this game was going to come out as a sandbox with no identity, with roguelike, almost procedurally generated levels, level design, and you just spawn back in. You take your pill and you just do random shit, and there's no real like linear progression of any substance. And now, because people have given feedback, as people have play tested, and they've taken a lot of, and granted, that stuff is money. That's money. So people have done this for free, essentially. And, the game has changed quite a bit. So, that's true, Assassin. You do get some value in that. That is true. I will give you that. That's a good point. Taylor or clowns on this?
I don't think it's a... I really don't think it's a big deal it's coming to PS4. I think we could all see that coming. It is a successful game. A lot of people like it. Do I think, coming out of preview, it should go right to both? I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like this was, correct me if I'm wrong, like an ID at Xbox game, and I thought they touted it at E3 as like an exclusive game only on Xbox. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe a little bit of memory loss there.
Yeah, Compulsion never said, as much as I looked to find it, Compulsion never said that it was exclusive. Now, Xbox tried to play it off as exclusive. I will give you that. They tried.
Yeah, Sony does that same thing with their games too.
Yeah, they do. No, they do. They definitely do. And it's smart marketing, but
you saw Compulsion come on stage smiling during that time frame, right? Like, they didn't say anything about not being exclusive.
Of course. No,
so they just went with it. Maybe because it was ID at Xbox at the time. But I feel like they should give Xbox maybe 1 or 2 months first before PS4. But it's not like, oh my god, I hate the game if it goes on PS4 the same day. I'm not going to be upset in any way whatsoever. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed playing it in the preview program. I'm glad I bought it in the preview program to help support them. I think they're an excellent company, and I think they do a great job, and they got great stories to tell,
Mm-hmm.
So they deserve this, man. Like, Gearbox picking this up, they know it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and I think that, the least that they could do, I think that 1 to 2 month exclusivity is actually, the least that they could do for Xbox gamers, for PC gamers to, for all the work that they've put in to make this into something that people actually want. Because I gotta be honest with you, I think the preview numbers at the beginning were pretty grim on this. Like, I know Taylor was a fan, I know Clowns, you were a fan. I know a few other people, shout out to Chicken Spaghetti, who usually comes watches. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he was a fan. I know a lot of people that were big fans of this game, but I also know a lot of people who gave up on it, and I also know a lot of people who didn't even give it a shot because of the scope, because of, there was no, like, certain game path. It was way too open for interpretation. People didn't like that, so they kind of pushed it aside. Now that it's taking the form that it is now, and that it's going to be like they call it, a full retail experience. That's why they've hiked the price to $60. I think the least that they could do for people who made this into what it is give them a little bit of exclusivity on their platform. But I mean, they got to do what they got to do for their money. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about staying in business and, feeding their employees and paying their employees, a fair wage. So, it's good. I mean, it's good to see this on more platforms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you're interested in this, you better hop on this quick, because what I've heard is that they are going to hike up the early access price too. It's not like going to be $30 up until, April 17th or April 12th rather. It's gonna hike up price soon. So get on this quick, or else you're gonna lose out on that $30 price.
I thought they already raised the price. I could be wrong.
I don't think they did it on all platforms, but I know they're doing it very, very soon.
I want to look.
Did they do it on Xbox? I think Xbox is the only one they didn't do it on.
Right now it's $50.99.
Oh my god, they did. They already
Yep.
did it on Xbox. Wow, forget it. Forget it. What about Steam? Continue.
There's also a digital deluxe version, it normally is $80. Right now it's $67.57.
Oh my God, they've already raised the price. You people have missed out. Forget it. Forget it. Yeah, Taylor. So take us through this one. I know you were probably coming into this. You were the biggest fan. Have you played it recently? And are you excited with the new direction? And what do you think about all this?
I haven't played it for a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really behind on updates. I'm excited to see what they've done with the game.
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim happened, and
Right.
then nothing else mattered for a while.
Right.
So, but I'm really excited to see what this game's done. I have followed up on updates, just looking through them, like on their website and stuff, reading up about them, seeing what they've done. And I was seeing them add in some more story element stuff, and that's kind of part of the reason I didn't want to play the early access stuff anymore. I didn't want to play any of the story until it was released, just because I didn't want all of this stuff to be spoiled for me. I wanted a fresh chance at the game. I just wanted to come in and learn kind of like the basic mechanics of it.
Interesting. Maybe that's why a lot of people are staying away from it too. Because it is, now that it's taken shape as kind of like more story-driven, more linear than before, like, as an early access person, you may not want to get through like 80% of it and wait or be spoiled or what have you. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I got it in the beginning, one, because I knew there was going to be a price hike eventually, and I didn't want to spend that. But I wanted to also buy it to help support them while they were developing, because developing a game, you need all the money you can get. And then
yeah,
I wanted to come in and I wanted to learn the basics. I wanted to kind of see the world, how it was designed. And I just think it's going to be really interesting to go back in so many months later and see all the changes.
Yeah, I think this news, if anything, for people that already have it, Xbox people, PC people, I think it's kind of like encourage people to give it another shot, because I know a lot of people that have bought this and forgot about it, and I saw people on Twitter being like, "Oh, I forgot I had that. Let me check out what's new." And like you just said, you haven't played it for a couple months. You've kind of been reading here and there, but haven't played it. But now you're gonna go check it out. So it is positive news to get more people engaged in the game, but at the same time, like, I feel for people who have put, valuable unpaid quality assurance hours into playing this, and now, it's almost like you're paying, if you're paying like a servant to, or not, you're not even paying a servant, but you're making a servant like build a chair, and they have to build like multiple iterations of a chair, and they finally build like the perfect chair, and it's like, "Oh, thanks. Oh, you thought that was for you? Oh, no, it's not. I'm bringing it to the prince." Like, and the prince just gets the best version, It kind of feels like a little bit of a slap in the face that the PlayStation 4, they're going to get it for essentially the same price. Now, $50.99. Is that what you said, Assassin, on Xbox?
Yeah, it's like a little sale that they're doing.
So you're going to save like $9 to play it early and to shape the game. And, PlayStation on full release day, they get the same thing as you do. And they don't save $9, but then again, they don't play it early and bug tests and all this other shit. So, yeah, I have this on PC. I should really go check it out, too. Like, I know a lot of people saying that, so that's why I do think it is positive news in some regard, but
I don't, I see your analogy, and I feel like when this went in preview program, they kind of gave everybody the expectations. Hey, this is a preview game. It may break, it may not work, and you're going to help us shape the final product. And you paid half the price when it launched in preview for what people are going to pay at retail. You know what I mean? I mean, now jacking up the preview price, that's kind of not fair. But for those who purchased it when it was discounted, I don't feel like a big loss on my end for playing it and handing them feedback.
Yeah, it's all about. I mean, in preview program, you're not like even obligated to give feedback or to shape this at all. Like some people just buy the game and play it early just to say they played it early, and they don't submit any surveys or bug reports or any of that stuff. But sometimes there are people that are employed and make $40K, $50K doing doing quality assurance. That's essentially the same thing that you'd be doing if you did a lot of bug reports. Like Assassin, I know for Xbox Preview Program, for example, you do a lot of the surveys and submit the bug reports and all that stuff. But there are people out there that make like $30,000, $40,000 a year that do the same exact thing you're doing.
Yeah.
So, maybe a lot more than you're doing, like maybe twice as much, and maybe they have to do it in a certain, exact detail, but nonetheless, you're still providing feedback for free. So, I mean, it's all about how you value the feedback. $30 versus $60, you are getting the game for half price, and you have been able to play it all this time, but at the same time, if you've submitted a ton of feedback, you may feel slighted for the fact that you've just submitted all this feedback and you're getting the same thing the PlayStation's gotten or is going to get on day one. So,
well, I know some quality assurance people might get, 40, 50,000 a year. It depends if they're contract, full-time, long-term, all that kind of stuff. But here in Florida, in certain areas of like EA, for example, when they did QA analysts, to play video games, they paid them like between 12 to 13 an hour.
Wow, that's way less than here. I know that for a fact.
I mean, well, yeah, too. I think if you're comparing Jizzle's experience, I think he worked for a company that at the time when he worked there maybe valued, employer-employee relationship a little bit more than some of these other companies.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds like it. Jesus. Yeah, that's tough work. Like, you may say, oh, you get paid for playing video games. But, I mean, imagine sitting in front of the same video game for 8 hours a day, every single day, for months leading up to the release, and just trying to do shit to break it. That's hard work. That's monotonous, difficult stuff to do. Like, the day doesn't just fly by. It's not like, oh, this work day just flew by. You're looking at the clock, and you've done all this, and only an hour has gone by on jobs like that. So, I don't know. To me, I don't really care. I know there are people that do care, and I think you rightfully have a point. But at the same time, if you bought it before and you paid $30, like, you're saving a lot of money on a game that could potentially, compulsion games are excellent. This could potentially come out in full release and be like a 9 out of 10, one of the best games of the year, and it's a full, AAA style release. I mean, it is indie still. Compulsion's an indie studio, but it is, full AAA quality. So.
Plus, you have the ability to stream it too, I believe. So.
Yeah. You do have the ability to get some Twitch, Twitch viewers or Mixer or YouTube or what have you, and you could potentially make money off of it, depending. So, whatever. It is what it is, I suppose. All right, so I think that's it, essentially. I'm going to end this show so that Assassin can go back to region switching on Conan Exiles and seeing some penis.
I don't think I have that game installed.
He refused to play it because he's like, oh, it looks like Ark, therefore I am not playing.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, when I do get a chance to game, the next time I'm able to do that, I'm definitely going to download the Trial of Conan Exiles. But UK Dazarus just laughed in the chat, and I know he's laughing at what we just said. But you're one of those lucky ones in the European region, Daz, that is able to get that nudity DLC.
Just think in the future if our ratings change their stances and stuff like this, and somebody generously donates Assassin a VR headset for Xbox One X. We might never see him again if he's playing Conan Exiles.
It's true. This is true. Well, anyway, that'll do it for us. Episode 145 is a wrap. Go check us out on all the things. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Mixer. We're 4GwQPodcast everywhere, other than Twitter, where we're 4GwQPodcast because it doesn't fit.
Guys, I'm going to be updating iTunes again. It was just that we're using our own host for iTunes. We still haven't found like a permanent solution, but I'm still going to update it. I'm going to start doing that again. So go on iTunes, subscribe to us, give us ratings. We were one of the first Xbox podcasts on iTunes, and we appreciate all the support.
Appreciate it immensely. And last but not least, go to our website, 4GwQPodcast.com for replays of these podcasts if you'd like to watch them on there. Articles, reviews, those kinds of things. Now that hopefully work is dying down for me, we'll get some more stuff up on there, and hopefully Assassin can talk about Conan Exiles and his experience with pressing the A button to jump multiple times, if you know what I mean.
Is the game in first person?
Huh?
You can know it's
The
first
game in
and
Oh, God.
first and third person.
And even if it
stick
isn't
with
first person and you press A multiple times, you can just push the right joystick down and see below, if you know what I mean.
That's if you can see your feet.
You push up or right, and it goes in the third person. I played the game already.
Gotcha.
So Assassin, I mean, I could tell you how to do that if you're interested.
No,
But
I'm not really that interested. I'll go back playing Siege or Wolfenstein or something.
One thing I want to say for everybody that just caught in the show late or listening now, you definitely want to go back at least to the second topic and look at Ybarra's picture. He is super happy. I can't get over that. Check it out. Let us know what you think.
That was the third topic, by the way, but it's still true. Go back and look at that picture because he was very happy in that picture. I don't know why I picked that. I think it was just the best quality one I could find, but
I mean, he just might be a happy guy all the time. I mean, he might have that personality. I never met him, but if he is like always a happy guy, I'd like to like hang out with him at Microsoft one day.
There you go. There you go. All right, and for that, we're done. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out, Cub Scouts.
Bye.
Later, homies.
Oh.